Series victory in Division 2, and well, for LBZS, they're looking to try and find their second series victory. They might be able to join the likes of Meteor Gaming at the top with 2-0 count if they're able to take this third game. But the question is, Daniel, is this draft enough to enable them to find that game victory?
Yeah, the Arc Warden we were a little inquisitive about. I understand it as a direct response to the TB. Like Lizard said, it's not the greatest in the lane against the Beastmaster. I was thinking, maybe a Phantom Lancer could do a decent job. They don't exactly have the greatest wave clear, so maybe that's another point in the Arc Warden's favor. You were throwing out the possibility of an Ursa to me, which I really wouldn't have hated either. So they did have a bunch of options. Just speaking on the Daenerys front, I was about to ask, where are my dragons? But we get a Dragon Knight, so I'm going to be happy for this one.
Makes up for it. A little bit of role play there from my boy Zone. Let's see how he's able to perform in this game. Of course, with I mean,
it's such a great DK lane, right? Like, what is a puck supposed to do against this? Most of the time, if you're playing melee against ranged, you worry about getting traded on, right? But you're a DK. That is not going to happen to you. You're going to be able to walk forward, stun the puck, use your greater last hit potential to be able to just slam down. If he's getting denied too much in this lane, Zone's doing something wrong. I was calling for a Kunkka, perhaps, because it would have been able to deal with a Beastmaster. It would have been decent in the lane, but it would have prevented them from having that instant lockdown for the puck. So, yeah, I really like this DK pick.
Yeah, I wonder what his item build's going to be in a game like this as well from Zone, because we saw they put it out in game 1 to great success, and he went for that Midas build. So I wonder if he's going to go down that route again.
I think he could. I mean, you're going up against a Beastmaster, right? So I think at least one Midas is a good idea. Arc Warden's probably going to fulfill that one. Just being able to get rid of the Helm of the Dominator creep for now. But, if he opted to go down the route of the Aghanim Scepter again, really wouldn't hate it. Again, just going to provide him with a little bit more of that sustain in a lot of these team fights. He can be the one to frontline, because how often is Arc Warden really wanting to be the one to frontline? And just to echo Fluke's comments about his love for the Snapfire and the Mortimer's Kisses, just have a look at all of these other heroes that he's got playing with him. Like, DK wants to go in first, DP wants to go in first, Clockwork wants to go in first. So you're going to get a ton of value out of these Mortimer's Kisses, and pretty rarely have them stolen or stopped by, Puck or Disruptor or Rubik, 3 of the better heroes that are actually able to do it.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of value out of this big ultimate here from DQQ. I think overall as well from the rest of Mystique, their ultimates are going to come in clutch at the early stage. For them, it's a lot around how you can take some of these early objectives. In fact, it might be DQQ that goes down first. Scatterblast, maybe slow down Fonte. One more right click, it's not enough. The tower, regen, and armor looks like it's just enough to keep him alive.
And what build has he gone for? I didn't see what he'd had leveled up at level 1 on Guo, but of course he's going to be using the Glimpse as much as possible, going heavy
the
into that right click. He went Thunderstrike level 1, or?
Yeah.
Not sure if I'm the greatest fan of that. I mean, you can trade very, very well against the Snapfire. And again, Snap's one of those heroes that doesn't have the greatest escape potential, at least in the super early game, right? As long as you get into the Aghanim Shard, the 4-staffs, later on it becomes a little bit more sustainable, but that's not what you're really worried about. You want to be trading with Glimpse as much as you can.
And you were mentioning about this mid matchup, and it's not looking good for Zone early on. 15-7 compared to the 8-2. Oof.
You mean it is looking good for Zone?
So it is. Sorry, did I say it's not? Sorry. I meant it is looking good for Zone. Not looking good for the Puck.
I mean, Puck,
bottom lane,
we talked about the roleplay before. Puck looks like a bit of a dolphin.
Oh, man, what the hell? What? what dolphins are you even seeing? What are you talking about?
They're just roaming in the sea.
That's a cracked out dolphin you're looking at. I don't know. This dude.
That's the West Side dolphin.
I don't know, man. That's some malfunctions going on.
Mm-hmm. Topside, they tried to get a little bit of harass onto the TB, as you do in between uses of the Metamorphosis, but not able to do it. Again, the Glimpse coming in clutch and making Guogo have to back off a little bit. Gets a nice pull through, and I mean, I think what you're waiting for on DQQ is for them to be able to use some sort of metamorphosis timing and not get a kill, and then that's going to free him up to potentially make a move towards this mid lane, although they might try and get a kill before then.
So Gua will be okay. The Glimpse going to be forced out there to send DQQ back. I mean, when you have meta, this should be a pretty much guaranteed kill. You've got so much damage coming out, you can't escape with that Glimpse to drag them away. Bottom lane, actually, Arc Warden is in not the greatest position deep at all. A little deep is definitely one way to put it. He got the ball, that's all right. Well worth getting the ball from giving up first blood over to TZY.
Where's Ray in all of this? He had max health and mana. I mean, sure, he was making a pull happen, but probably shouldn't do that when the lane is pushed that far forward.
You got to blame the Arc Warden, right? If he gets caught out when the support's pulling?
Yes, but probably don't run forwards, you know, like when that's happening. Try and run back to your team.
Top lane, DQQ is going to end up going down. They'll trade supports, though. Not the worst. Fonte will continue to right-click NJ, so it does look like the Terrorblade will come out a little bit on top in regards to the resource exchange between the two cores as well, but I mean, this is Metamorphosis now on cooldown, so do you want to see Mystique just instantly look to run at the LBZS members up top?
Possibly. I just don't think you've got the levels to do it just yet, right? I think you need the DK with a power rune. Like a haste would be absolutely ideal if you had Elder Dragon form as well. The same sort of thing with the Exorcism, right? So without that, I just don't think they have the capability to do it just yet. I was thinking maybe DQQ comes mid if Dolphin looks to overextend himself, but he doesn't end up doing that, so he goes back top.
Now, the way I was initially looking at this game is that I really felt like LBZS were going to have a big damage issue once we got to the mid game with the Dragon Knight having BKB with the Death Prophet more than likely having like Greaves and Pipe, maybe even just Greaves into the BKB. Fonte can kind of help out with that issue when you have Metamorphosis and join fights, but that's a big cooldown, and early on, I don't think we're going to see him a whole lot, so do you kind of have the same read that you feel like Mystique, once they get these utility items, that LBZS might have issues with damages? I'll hold that thought, actually, because bottom lane, not TZY, will be able to get the TP out. Ray went the opposite direction.
Could do, but it could just be another story of what we saw in the last game. I thought the exact same thing in game number 2, right? But there were just targets getting picked off so easily, time and time again, that even though, for example, the Morphling with the Aghanim Scepter, right, with 2 waveforms and Time Walk and an Octarine core, still got burst down with an Aghanim Shard, right? Just because he was the one that get picked instantly at the start of every single team fight. So I think it's just a matter of their positioning, because, yeah, if, like you're saying, they are just going to run into a 5v5 fight, and it's even, then they will be lacking in damage. But again, it's just going to be based on how it starts.
No, he can't do this. NJ can't go for a Meteor Hammer. He's trolling, it's okay. He's trolling the moment. We'll see change up. You ain't kind of messing around with the Exo, though. They've got Catapult. They're going to cut the wave as well, and it seems like there's nothing Dire can really do to protect this. Like, if Dolphin leaves the lane, then Zone's just going to commit the Elder Dragon form and beat onto the tower. So you're going to have to bring someone else, and that's where Helios can come into play, but they're already onto Gua. They'll send it back with the Glimpse, but the damage has been dealt way too fast for them to handle. But maybe Fonte with a wraparound with the Metamorphosis can look to get some revenge.
Exo's almost
a lot of damage onto NJ early on, but can he get that bonus health back? Well, he'll get a kill for his good measures, and maybe now, I mean, NJ's okay. He doesn't really have the mana to turn it on to Fonte, so the Snapfire will be the sacrifice.
He does have enough mana to TP out if he wants to, but he's just going to stick around here. I don't think Fonte will end up going down. He is still tanky enough that it might at least force him out, the fact that the DP's back up here. And yeah, mid lane, like you're saying, Zone just looking to push into this mid tower. Means that Gua makes the rotation down. He is not trolling. He went away from the Meteor Hammer, by the way. I think he was just doing it to find you out.
No. I thought he was trolling with having the item queue up. He wanted to bring it up, and then... Yeah, very good. Oh, mid lane. Stun into the cookie. Oh, beautiful use of the cogs from Ray. Okay. You love to see it. Perfectly done for that chain control. Grants him a really important kill, and they're able to finish off that tier 1 tower as well.
Yeah, they are. As Zone, they've already built up this 2k net worth lead, and I just can't see where they're going to be able to make anything happen off the back of this on LBZS, right? Like, all of their push comes on the back of a Terrorblade and a Beastmaster. Neither of them have had fantastic early games.
Oh, Mr. Terrorblade go down. Some shenanigans occurring in that jungle side of the map. Poor old Fonte. Big kill for them to find. It's a 3,000 net worth lead already for Team Mystique. It's off to a great start for the boys who haven't won a series just yet.
Just rub it in. Just make sure that they know.
Gosh, what? Yeah, all right. Yeah, let them rub it in.
Ray will probably end up going down here. He's got 3 points in the battery assault. Not sure that it's going to be all that effective this game, to be honest. You know, I feel like it's... He drew the aggro away, meaning that the creeps aren't just going to be able to freely hit into the tower, but the plus side of that is you've got a new wave that's just going to be able to do the exact same thing. I think they're going to have to give this one up. No tree and protector this time around, and they're actually going to look to make a defense around this mid lane if they went for a super deep dive onto Fonte.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Mechanism completed for NJ. See what that heal burst is going to be able to help them out with. Unfortunately, they don't have... Well, they got about half duration of the Elder Dragon form. I think that smoke was underneath the ward. They're even going to scan just to confirm about the placement from Team Mystique, as Helios
is still kind of walking.
It'll just run straight into him, but it looks like it might not matter. NJ, I don't think he's going to have the damage. In fact, it's enough. My calculations were subpar, and NJ up to a killing spree with the Death Prophet, and really importantly, you've got the Arc Warden who's continuing to find that farm. Midas picked up, so that first real steroid item is online for the Arc Warden.
Yeah, the AU mass really coming in clutch there. I'm really expecting to see look to put himself wherever the Beastmaster is, or at least the Tempest double, right? You've got to make sure that you're stopping this Helm of the Dominated creep as much as you can. It really serves to hinder how much Beastmaster is able to get out of the map and slow down the progression towards that Helm of the Overlord if he doesn't have a creep to play with.
Well, they see him at the moment. This River Ward down bottom was able to scout out TCY and his farming patterns, but he himself has got some... Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. He's got some hawks to be able to work around with, and with all this going on, you also have to kind of keep tabs about the Terrorblade, but do you actually feel like Radiant need to, though, in a game like this? Because we heard Lizard speak a lot on the panel that, you know, he feels this Arc Warden is arguably one of the biggest counters to the Terrorblade. So do you feel like that Mystique are really concerned about the farm that Fonte gets? We'll hold that thought. Ray, in combination with DQQ, is going to look to try and make a play with a smoke, but great position from TZY. Anticipating this movement up towards it. Triangle pops the smoke and finds a kill into the clockwork.
I would still be a little concerned about the Terrorblade just because he is the one that's going to be assisting with taking these towers. And when you think of combinations together with a Disruptor, Beastmaster and Nightstalker are like the two that you look to think of, right? Because you're just going to be able to get so much value out of the Glimpse. It's going to be heavily on the back of Dolphin starting a lot of these early team fights. Oh.
Are they going to have the damage after the chain control, and DQQ, he provides it. That point-blank Scatterblast level 3 was even enough to get the kill. Dolphin really struggling in the game like this. I mean, we saw how difficult his lane was, but even after then, he's not been able to find much farm.
They could go for a Blink Stun here into the Kisses if anyone.
They're going to go for NJ instead. Static Storm drop with Fonte's Metamorphosis damage. And the mechanism will not be enough to keep him alive. The health burst, and he'll still go down afterwards. A bit of a killing spree for Fonte to find. 411 gold injected into the bank.
Hawks come mid, but again, Dolphin doing the right thing, not showing himself in the lane for too long. So I think what I would be looking to do if I'm Mystique is just put even more pressure on the puck than she already has been. She's sitting last in all of the cores. Oh, should be found. There it is, Kiss.
It's going to be the Rubik. Globs it down, but Dolphin's going to react. They've still got a decent chunk of the Metamorphosis, so they can capitalize on Dolphin's coil. And now Gua will even catch up to another member as well, so both supports on Mystique are going to take a spill, and that's huge. Fonte got both the kills as well, so even more gold given over to the Terrorblade.
Yeah, I don't think you can look to go for an attempt that close to the tower unless A, people have revealed the fact that they've TP'd to the other side of the map, or B, it's a core. I think supports are just not valuable enough to use two ultimates on that you actually don't even need to, and you get turned around upon.
I do see the Beastmaster kind of hiding out a little bit of a nook. It's just up to Ray to be able to find that angle of the hook shot, and in fact, it's actually still on cooldown, so no one's going to go down this time.
You got the Hawk, though, so Ray removes a little bit of that Beastmaster vision, makes it so that he has to back off from this lane as much as possible. Hasn't been punished too hard with his Helm of the Overlord creeps getting Midas, so he's going to nearly be into that Vladimir's offering soon. on TZY. Not looking too bad for him. Again, I just really want to emphasize how important it is for them to be able to take out this puck, right? Because without puck, you don't use your BKBs early. It means that you're able to get set up into a position where you're not necessarily running from the fight. That's what you want to avoid on Mystique. You want to prevent the glimpses back like we just saw them get a free kill onto the Snapfire previously around the Dire Ancient camp.
Are they going to have the damage for the Death Prophet? Maybe they'll actually look to wrap around the mid-tier 1 tower, even drop some wards down in the meantime as well for a potential further team fight.
Seem like they will. With the Witchblade, perhaps they think that they're going to have enough and they want to make the most of this.
It's going to be close.
They can't
yeah,
now that you've used
it.
the Illusory Orb, you can't.
Well, they're running to the shot. They're inside the river. Oh, bit of an awkward kind of simultaneous just jump between Zone and Ray, but nonetheless they'll get the kill, but they won't get any real valuable core out of it. I don't know if they can force some objectives as well. No creeps are close to the tower, so I guess we're at a stage where we kind of need to be looking towards Roshan for Team Mystique. Well, what do they kind of need to be able to bring that one down?
My thing is, do you need it? I mean, I guess a lot of their damage output that they've got is ultimate based on LBZS, right? So just to be able to put the Aegis on the highest priority target is going to be really good. You know, they heavily need to be able to play around that. The Roar, the Dream Coil, the Static Storm.
Speaking of the Roar,
so heavily just to take one.
TZY happy with the ultimate usage onto Ray. You're speaking a lot about the Helm of the Overlord and how important it is for TZY, so
that's going to resolve a lot of their damage issues, right? If they get into the Helm of the Overlord and they get the Red Eyes Black Dragon, and they're able to pick that one up, then it just means so much more, right? You can grow a bit of the split push of your own. You can have alternate sources of damage rather than just the Terrorblade in these team fights.
They're going to look for more. DQQ was just step out of the tree line, and all they needed was a slither of vision. And they pounced on that opportunity. Kill going onto the Snapfire, and now with this, they'll look to put some damage in the tower, but Dark Warden's positioning it will be a little bit too difficult for LBZS, but they have kind of stemmed some of the momentum that Radiant was building. 2 deaths in a row for them, and continuing to find the farm is the Terrorblade. And in fact, he's actually usurped Radiant's net worth. He's on top on Fonte, but it might be TZY that goes down. He's stuck around for way too long inside the jungle. Go will attempt the glimpse, and surely that's not enough, right? Blink up shortly from Zone, and he actually won't be able to close the distance, so somehow TZY is able to limp away.
Very, very important that he does. Look how close he is to that Helm of the Overlord, right? 300 gold away. All the while, TB's farming. He's freshly picked up the Manta style, so a lot more pressure being put onto this bottom side of the map. He'll even just clean up a Tempest double. So now you don't have anything pushing down on this bottom side. Guogo is going to put himself here as well. I want to see if they throw a Hawk in, it's still 20 seconds away, but just around this tower. So if anyone TP's in, you glimpse it straight back.
Look at the smoke from LBZS into the triangle. That ward placed prior. Arc Warden doesn't have the greatest health pool as well, and Helios with the stolen Scatter Blast just easily cleans up the Arc. The boys are smoking. This is an interesting path that they're going to take towards a triangle. Helios will try and TP up, but DQQ with a cookie just on the edge to bring him down, but that's an exo committed for this. You've got to get more out of it.
You do. I mean, they're going to try and push mid a little bit, at least try and force someone back, but again, it's probably just another kill that they're going to give up for free. Glimpse available once again. They were wanting to use it here onto Ray. They're just saying, you know what, Puck's going to be able to deal with it herself.
NJ, hang on, Puck? Hang on, Puck? You can't run into an exo like that. Oh, what?
No, you cannot. That is an interesting play for sure. Double damage being pinged down at the moment. DQQ having to take it away just so that Fonte doesn't pick it up for himself. Kind of gave them a little bit of breathing room they probably shouldn't have, right?
Prophet ducks in the tree line. They want to try and combine the Static Storm with the Metamorphosis like we saw prior. And the Roar from TZY down to the south will make sure there's going to be no escape for the Death Prophet and not Radiant.
Couldn't even Greaves.
I don't know if you can fight into the Terrorblade right now, and we'll see Zone drag back to his own death. A glimpse from Gua giving them a double kill, and they're going to instantly look to turn to Roche because they've got the Helm of the Overlord, so it might be Dire that find the first Roche of the game.
Why not? You know, you got the Ancient Thunderhide, you got the Inner Beast Aura, you got the lifesteal, the extra damage output. This is the effect of the Disruptor, right? They've just got vision advantages everywhere across the map. They're going to know that this is going again without... It's going to need to be the greatest support player of all time if DQQ and Ray are going to be able to interrupt. I just don't think they're ready to.
Not even using Mortimer Kisses to maybe act as a deterrent, so Roche will go down. They'll look for Dolphin though. Again, beautifully done from Red. That's multiple times this game that we've seen that Cogs push back into the follow-up stun. And really, if you don't get that Cogs pushback, then the puck is always surviving. So at least you get a consolation prize at bringing Dolphin down. But of course, first Roche and the Aegis, importantly, does go over to Fonte's Terrorblade.
Separates the good blockworks from the great ones as well as they're trying to get another free kill onto Helios, but it's just going to dissuade that somewhat. Going into the 4-star for himself, just wanting to be able to protect from the likes of the Clockwork, even just being able to get away from that Spirit Siphon can do wonders at being able to take out that Death Prophet, who has shown that she doesn't feel immortal exactly, right? Like, she popped the Hood of Defiance inside of that Static Storm, but they were able to burst her down with the Primal Roar so that you couldn't even get the Greaves off, and that was essentially the thing that led them into being able to take that first Roshan, just having no Death Prophet available.
Yeah. I mean, the Terrorblade, and in general, just any ranged, heavy, physical damage dealing carries a great way to deal with the DP. You don't have the greatest armor. Your agi gain is pretty atrocious. Yes, that Greaves is going to help out a little bit, but I'm expecting him actually to go like maybe a casual plate mail after this BKB, or just even into the Lotus Orb afterwards as well from NJ.
I see that as well. I mean, the casual plate mail, absolutely. He needs to get the BKB first, though, right? Because right now, you've got the Dream Coil, you've got even just something as simple as Kinetic Field stopping you from doing a lot of damage into the middle of these team fights. They might be able to get a Thunder Hive for free, and it's actually NJ that ends up picking up that last hit. So, yeah, big little bonus for him.
Speaking about some items as well, I'm intrigued on what the Terrorblade's going to look to go for in a game like this. I mean, you will definitely be considering about a Swift Blink as the game goes on, maybe even the Scepter as well. Kind of the name of the game for him is that you need to get on top of the Terrorblade, and you need to do it yourself. So, and that's maybe where the Swift Blink into the Scepter can come into play, get inside that bubble, get close on top of him. That's at that later stage. Scarred is going to help drastically against the DK and the Death Prophet survivability, but they're just not coming down bottom to defend the tower. It's going to be the Arc... Hang on, that's the real Arc Warden. You see Dai instantly turn their attention back to bottom. They'll be a little bit too far away to connect on potentially killing off the real Arc. They'll get the Tempest double, though, nonetheless.
They will, and they'll also look to be what the area. Who if they actually
intercepted? Beastmaster,
nice
he's
silence.
been caught out by Zone, and simultaneously the Clockwork tries to get the initiation as well. They'll still turn their attention over to TZY, securing the kill off for the offlaner, and they're already looking for more as well, as Zone finds a jump in. Maybe the Mortimer Kisses wasn't as necessary for the kill, but well, they will still be able to find it. A 2-for-1 with Exo, even used from NJ. So a lot of ultimates are actually forced out from Team Mystique, and not to the greatest benefit of their own lineup.
Yeah, they trade tier 2 towers as well. You would have to say that the team that's slightly happier about that would be Mystique still, just because, again, second Roshan, always important just to get that free injection of gold. That's probably when they're going to be ready to consider going high ground. You mentioned the Swift Blink on the Arc Warden. I think Overwhelming Blink is also an option, just because you're going up against this lineup that has Rubik, Disruptor, and to a lesser extent Beastmaster, heroes that really aren't good at all of keeping lanes shoved out on their own or require quite heavy commitments on their behalf. So it requires, Puck to make that TP back, and she doesn't have Boots of Travel. It requires TB to send illusions there, but you're not always nearby, right? So it just creates a lot of extra map pressure that LBZS were probably hoping that they could be playing with because of all this vision advantage that they've got through the Beastmaster.
Who is this the Overwhelming Blink for, sorry?
Arc Warden. Just
the
shove
Arc,
lanes
okay.
out.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot for the Arc Warden, yeah. We're going to see smoke from LBZS. Hawk, I think it did just get a glimpse of Zone 1. Now they'll definitely have confirmation of their positioning. Dolphin, no hesitation, in the middle with the claw, and you've got the Skadi as well, so Zone will not be able to escape. It's just a question of, can they get more? Or maybe Zone actually gets out, though. Great placement out of the magnetic field will keep them alive, but still, multiple members are going to go down from the boys on Radiant. Mystique, casualties of Flow, and now Fonte, well, he can look to some more objectives as well. We're just yet to see the Arc Warden, Danog, and this game is... They're starting to lose a little bit of a grip on it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just really not wanting to fight up into that Aegis. And I mean, you've got this Terrorblade hitting in way at your towers. You kind of have to defend this a little bit more. This is similar to a Tree Protector where, you know, sure, Arc Warden probably doesn't do too much against Tier 1 towers and being able to protect them, but Tier 2s, you got to hold a big part of still leaving your team some areas of the map to farm is having those towers for them to have for safety, for defensive rotation.
NJ? Oh no, they baited the Exo. And just an easy cancel the TP. He thought they were going to commit with it. Did he steal it? Okay, no, he dropped
Silence is pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Helios is pretty farmed as well. If we're considering about kind of the late stage in regards to the core matchups, we always got to think about the supports as well and how much impact they can have. And we know what a Ruby can do in regards to kind of the skill build, but even the item build is something that's going to be really beneficial to LBZS, and maybe that's where the Greaves can come into play here for Helios.
At least the Dragon Knight has picked up the Aghanim Scepter for himself, going into the Manta next, kind of like what we were expecting. I do still want to see him go the BKB, though. It feels like even if he... Oh, actually, speaking of DK, he'll be able to just get away.
Yeah, not in the river, though. TZY shouldn't have the same fate. They'll get him out of the cogs and maybe even turn around. The Ancient Black Dragon doing so much damage into Ray. Looks like TZY should still go down. And they might even turn now to the Helm of the Overlord creep as well. So a lot of gold given over the boys on Radiant.
A lot of experience as well. An Ancient Black Dragon giving a ton, nearly bringing DK up to that level 18, just providing him with a little bit of that extra damage output, as well as the Frost Breath. You already got a little bit of it, though, from having the Aghanim Scepter, but every little bit helps. Yeah, what I was saying before about the BKB on the DK, sure, you can look to use Manta Style to be able to dodge things like the Glimpse, but if you're blinking forward and getting the stun onto the puck, you want to be able to confirm that kill, right? You want to be able to stand there and just right-click away. And if you're having to use the Manta Style for defensive purposes rather than use the BKB for that, then I'm a little worried that you just won't be able to fully realize that kill.
Bottom lane, NJ is getting really aggressive with the positioning. LBZS playing with the pincer move. And that Glimpse is going to force out a defensive BKB from NJ. But he does bring a lot of heroes. That's actually all 5 heroes from LBZS down to bottom. But now there is a bit of a window with BKB being on cooldown. So no time wasted from Dire. They're going to look to smoke instantly.
They're gripped pretty heavily, though, on Mystique. And just have a look at Ray's positioning. He's standing right outside of an area where they could look to come up both stairs, just in case they were looking at path that way. But instead, they go the left route. Maybe assuming that they were going to be around there. They'll look to pick off the second Tempest double, though. One was just fed away. So that's going to be a fair amount of time where Arc Warden isn't able to influence the map all that much.
They see Dolphin in the river. Can they get the jump? Sans will be there to start first.
He's got Aeon Disc.
Look shot back to the cogs, but Aeon Disc will be forced out. And Dolphin's going to be okay. He even drops a call before he skates, and the boys are coming. The boys are coming, and they're running towards him. Radiant, they'll survive the core usage, and they actually want to fight. Extra committed. They're going to target down TZY for the moment. Double force stuff to try and keep the Beastmaster alive, but the Globs will still rain down Hellfire. So the only casualty of war at the moment will be the offlaner from LBZS, but a lot was forced out once again from Mystique.
Elder Dragon form Exorcism. They could just converge this into the mid lane, though, if they really wanted to. And you've got the lane positioning to be able to do so, but it seems like they're not wanting to just go straight up into this Terrorblade just yet. Probably could have got a free pick off onto the Rubik if they did. Might just be waiting for that Manta Style, create a little bit of that Ghost push, kind of do similar things to what I was talking about with the Overwhelming Blink, plus the Gleipnir on the Arc Warden.
Nice TP. Very nice TP from the Snapfire.
Yeah.
I think he's just like, all right, brothers, you got no stuns. I'm going to TP out after the Glimpse. Easy like that with Static Storm forced.
Unfortunately, not being a Giga Chad is Gorgo. No Aghanim Scepter in sight. Yeah, I suppose they don't have a Philosopher's Stone, so you can understand it.
Overall, this net worth lead is continuing to grow for Team Mystique. 5,000 now for Radiant.
It's an Arc Warden, though, you know, with Midas.
Yeah.
But, to be fair, look at the differential between all 3 cores, right? They're all keeping up pretty damn well.
Wait, NJ? I just BKB TP out, I suppose. But Roche is up now.
Yeah, true. Most of the time I would like that, again, because they've got terrible heroes at being able to deal with split push, but with Roche potentially being available, which it is, not having that BKB could be a true death sentence for them.
Dire's middle
Well,
tower
this
is under attack.
could honestly be a death sentence, though, for Team Mystique if they give up this Roche. Oh, okay, Helio still Exo, so somehow the Rubik has this to help them siege it down. Radiant, of course, have an easy way to scout it out thanks to the Rocket Flare, so it's not going to be a free Roche this time. But it is falling pretty goddamn fast. They need a way to enter.
Oh, Disruptor pick.
And Zone's going to jump out of the right side. They'll target down the Disruptor, an easy kill for them to start the team fight. But can they get more out of it? Off to the left, they're on the real Arc Ward and Fontaine combination with Dolphin. Take away the Arc Ward, and now they'll turn to NJ as well. A cookie into the middle will not protect him at all, but Zone, hang on. This Dragon Knight, he feels strong enough to take the team.
Oh, the
fight,
Exo
but
came back.
Helios, he got all the health back. Another Sunder, they'll turn it back around. Zone's health pool just evaporates as Fonte rewarded with the double kill, and now they'll get the second Roshan as well as LBZS. Well, they didn't have the net worth lead, but it did not matter. They are now the ones in the driver's seat.
Dire's middle
Are
tower
indeed even getting the Aghanim shards, so a little bit of extra lockdown through the Call of the Wild Hawk dive bomb coming through. And that really does feel like it's all on the back of the Death Prophet, right? In this fight, you see an exorcism flying around. That's the Rubik's, and well, DPs came up just as she died as well. So there really wasn't any effectiveness coming out from the DP. You can see she falls down, ultimate comes back off cooldown right about now. So it really is just the worst possible timing that they look to try and contest that. But you can understand why, right? They were taking it so quickly with that Exo.
And there is a real good potential for the Arc Warden to be completely nullified in every single fight now if Puck gets that coil off. We saw last team fight was a perfect example. If he finds the real Arc Warden, drops coil, Fonte will instantly divert his attention over to the carry, and you're going to kill him 100-0, and there's nothing you can do about it. But
He
maybe
needs
this is where
BKB.
kind of that definitely is probably what you're looking for, because, I mean, the 25 talent's a long way away for Dolphin. I was going to say, like, I mean, DQQ's going Blink and Scepter. Like, maybe you're going to be using this one defensively, but that's
a long way away.
Really long time away as well.
Yeah, and I mean, if you do that, then you have to make a choice as well on LBZS, right? Like, do you use the Primal Roar on the Arc Warden to be able to lock him down, or do you use it onto the Death Prophet that's running at you with Shiva's, Pipe, Greaves, a BKB, and a Paladin Sword, right? Something has to give. You got to choose which one is more important to your next team fight.
See what they can do with the smoke here. Team Mystique, they're going to be running into the Ages. Meta's up in 10 seconds as well. If you're not perfect with this, then it's just going to be an easy teardown as you've got this MKB now. Well, that's a long hook shot from Ray, but maybe not the target he was hoping for in Fonte. They'll still turn towards
take
the
the Disruptor.
Disruptor
That's a
and now
dieback.
look to bring down with the Rubik as well. Both supports easily being killed off. But Fonte will not have the same fate. A BKB used defensively to escape.
top tower.
The lane's not in the greatest position, though, for Radiant to capitalize on those couple of kills.
Yeah, they're still pushing in the mid lane, and of course, Arc Warden super capable of dealing with the side lanes just through the Tempest double again. But yeah, no tier 2 tower gotten. Are they finding a pick off on Ray? I'm not sure what
That they
he's
are.
doing in that position.
Might have been the dive bomb that was there to set up for them to also jump in afterwards. I'm not sure, I didn't see the start, but regardless, like, yeah, you're there
Man's
and
kinda
no other
deep.
boys are nearby. Like, all right, man's kind of deep, and man's going to be penalized for that, so... See, it does, I guess, waste a little bit of time with that team fight going the way of Team Mystique, but Dire are going to respawn. Importantly, I mean, Fonte, he didn't use meta. So what do you feel like the call is now for LBZS when all 5 are back alive?
How long do they get left in the Ages? 2 minutes? You're not going to have
Plenty of time.
Satanic anytime soon. No real big items coming for anyone else on the TB. I think they're ready to go, to be honest. Like, lanes are fairly well pushed, which is kind of weird for all the reasons that I've stated previously. Like, their draft sucks at being able to push out lanes. So the fact that they've been able to do it off the back of a Rubik just sitting up top, TB's helping him now. But yeah, I think they're just going to group up together and look to try and find a fight, because they are a team that can absolutely look to convert a one-team fight onto towers with the Beastmaster and the TB and the Helm of the Overlord.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're not even
You feel
wanting
like
a team
Radiant-
fight. They're just going straight into it.
Got a gem as well from Dire. Very important to help with this map control. Another Tempest double is going to be fed over.
He's got their Monkey King bar as well on the TV, so that bubble isn't even a complete bastion of safety now for Heroes.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Not going to look to crack the high ground there from LBZS. Happy we're getting this last remaining outer tower. Now they'll just use this time to kind of pull themselves up around the triangle, but it does look like Radiant are well aware of this. The raid drawing on the map, so they've got a good idea of how LBZS are looking to play, but they're actually going to sweep to bottom instead, and they might catch out zone farming.
And
Helios is going to have this high ground vision advantage, and the rest of the boys are like, oh, don't know, he tried to TP. There's going to be no escape, and now they're forced to fight. NJ, he popped the Exo, he's roaring to go, but as soon as Fonte shows up to the neighborhood, they're just going to kite them. Roar onto the Death Prophet, and the
Nice
MKB
bubble.
is just ripping apart the DP. The bubble will buy him some space. The Cogs as well. NJ's not down just yet. He's going to run straight on top of Fonte, but still with the Metamorphosis damage, dispatches the Death Prophet, and now Fonte will turn to the right, targeting down Zone's Dragon Knight. Now you've got to be cautious. Aegis did just expire. If they continue to kite him and blow him up from afar, they'll come out on top in the team fight. Team Mystique, beautifully done. It was looking like a really rough start, but in the end, all the goons show up and they'll come out on top.
I mean, just timing it perfectly, right? With that Aegis being taken away. And yeah, I was thinking maybe the DP was going to go a little bit too deep into the middle of that team fight, just giving her life away. But we just saw how effective it was at being able to distract away. You have to deal with a Death Prophet that's got this many items and this much survivability.
Dire's bottom tower has been killed.
All right, well,
Into the Octarine on the puck. Certainly does help with a lot of that backline disruption. I mean, it feels like the fact that DQQ's only died the 5 times is kind of nutty, right? Like, he's had a pretty big impact in this game, keeping up very well with the net worth, really getting into that Blink Dagger as well, just for that follow-up after the Blink Dagger coming in from Zone, who still doesn't seem to want to go that BKB. He's going AC next.
Middle tower
I don't. Well, what do you feel like a BKB does to protect him in a game like this?
I don't think it's necessarily about protecting him. It's allowing him to do damage is the thing that I want. You know, I want him to be able to blink onto a Beastmaster or a Puck and be able to just stand there and right-click. You know, be assisted by the Mortimer's Kisses. You're very, very tanky right now. But if you're not able to actually stand on the front lines, it feels like it's not worth as much as it should be.
Okay. So you feel like it's not more of a defensive BKB, it's more to play aggressive and get that damage out. Okay. Well, you were speaking about earlier as well, the overwhelming blink for the Arc Warden. Now it just completes it, so his potential to be able to play the side lanes and push is a lot easier.
They just
even to be able to blow up.
They've got a really deep ward, so they know exactly where the Arc Warden is.
And look at
They're
the smoke
looking
from
to go for a big
LBZS.
wraparound.
Get that vision down as well, but they might just jump TZY.
Can't be this far back, my man.
Looking to try and get those tier 4 neutral items as Ray. Does he run directly into Fonte? He's the one that's leading the charge. Oh, Zone's they're tipping out. They'll cancel it now. Zone looks to start the fight. Not the greatest start for the Dragon Knight as Fonte's just pummeling into the position 2. Zone will go down with ease. And now, what's the call from Radiant? Do you still want to stick around? Exo's committed, so they feel strong to take the team fight as NJ. He's going to charge it in the middle, straight towards the Terrorblade. Mortimer Kisses, they're raining down artillery support as well as NJ standing strong, but the Arc Warden is nowhere to be seen. Without the Arc, there's just nothing they can do to man-fight the Terrorblade because he's got his own little fight. Puck completely zoning away. DQQ will jump on forward to get rid of the Snapfire.
They've even found the
and
real
now
one.
They've even caught up the Arc Warden as well as Helios, the stolen Dragon Tail, chucks him back towards Fonte. Terrorblade, bye-bye Arc Warden. And now your base soon to be under siege as well. Luckily enough for them, the meta's going to expire and the lanes are pushed out, but LBZS, what a beautiful team fight.
It was really nice, but that was one of those instances where no BKB on the DK really caused him to suffer, right? He was caught inside of the kinetic field and he could do absolutely nothing about it. Of course, he's going up against a TB with the Eye of Skadi, but just being able to not move at all seriously hindered his ability to even attempt that survivability. Now, again, Beastmaster, right? Inner Beast Aura. Helm of the Overlord, plenty of damage to be able to siege into this, and you're not going to have any cause for 10 seconds.
And even when you respawn, you got no exo to work with, which is a big one. Mortimer Kiss on cooldown for 30, which should be back up when everyone's alive, but you can't use it as kind of a way to maybe push them back from the buildings for a little bit of time. They're just going to look to go bottom, full set of barracks mid, soon to be a second full set of barracks to the name of LBZS.
Zone just doesn't have a courier either, so he's going to need to walk to be able to try and finish his AC.
And they see him.
Yeah. Do.
They're
He's going to have decent vision though. He's got that high available as well. Can they get the glimpse off? He gets straight back into the tree line. Nicely done by Zone.
Alright, well, at least Roche is not going to respawn when Radiant are dead. So they will have everyone back alive by the time it's up. It's just, how do you actually contest this? Because, one, your lanes are not in a good position, and two, you've lost all your vision now around the pit to take a team fight.
Just thinking, like, is there level 25 on the Arc Warden going to do all that much of anything? Probably not. So I think you just got to give this one up for free. That's going to be a refresher going the way of LBZS. You would have to imagine... I'd give this to Puck, to be honest. Maybe
like
they might
look...
Fonte. You reckon?
Yeah,
just more damage?
I think... okay, maybe you can give it on someone else, and if if the first fight doesn't work, you can give it back to him and have double meta.
Sure. I just don't think he needs to hold it now, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree, actually. That is a good call. I like that. Look at Mystique. They're moving outside the base.
There you go.
Alright, trying to play with their vision. Fonte is... he's pretty isolated.
Puck.
But Dolphin, he scouts them all out. And look at the coil. It's onto multiple members, so Fonte should easily be able to enter the team fight. Dolphin will escape with his own life. And the call from LBZS, it's to get the outpost just in case they need buybacks to be able to take the team fight. And they know they can play the long game.
Nice Lotus.
Exo was forced. They're going to get the jump in. The Lotus will protect him along with the Ghost Scepter as well. So Death Prophet's okay for the moment. They're committing a lot to try and target down NJ, and it's barely any damage.
Boss.
NJ is completely kiting them, enabling the rest of Mystique to enter the fight, and they want to get out. TZ Whiteboot will be successful with his TP, but now Fonte is stuck in no man's land. Will attempt to turn it once again. The E-Blade's going to mitigate a lot of the damage out of the Terror Blade. As a 4-star, he doesn't make it down to the low ground. And what's the call? How do you take this team cut? Because look at the Puck, man. Dolphin is just toying with them. The Arc Warden trying to blow him up, but he doesn't really have the control for the moment. Dolphin's actually going to jump further in. Back by the outpost, though, NJ. He's got no boys. NJ has 0 boys playing with him, but he's so tanky. Until the Sunder comes out, and all of a sudden, it doesn't feel so tanky anymore. Holy crap, he survived for such a long time, but that's DP down without a buyback, and he felt ever so vital to their team fight.
And that's the thing with Mystique's draft as well. You're on a timer in these team fights. Once Exorcism's gone, once the Elder Dragon form's worn off, you can't fight anymore. This is a LBZS lineup that's almost always good, especially considering you've got that refresher shard on the TB.
Such a messy team fight, but that was... Alright, Zone, he's going to jump in. I'm going to try and target down with the Beastmaster for the moment. It's a lot of damage. Can they secure the kill there, the Greaves? Giving a little bit of health back, but it's not enough. And now with the jump in from the Arc Warden as well, along with the Mortimer Kisses, Helios will go down, and they'll turn towards the Terror Blade. Of course, he's got the Aegis to work with. He'll pop the Refresher inside the back as well. I don't know if they can kill him a second time, man. This guy is not an easy person to bring down, so they'll just look to avoid him. Going for the supporting Kartik instead, but now Dolphin's nearby as well. But jump in, targeting down with the Dragonite Zone, trying to play around with a free pathing. He won't make it up to the high ground, except turns to try and have the mano a mano. I suppose he's got a buyback to be able to utilize, but it's going to be forced to use it eventually, and maybe the Arc Warden's in trouble as well. But again, dude, Dolphin is just... What is this guy doing to them? They don't have an answer to the Puck. He's styling. That's a perfect way to put it.
No cares at all in the world. He's even going to have that Revenant's Brooch as well. Very rare that we see this one, but great to have picked up against the Arc Warden. You've got all of this mitigation, all of this evasion coming through, but that's going to give him True Strike as well. So not only is he going to divert a lot of attention away from his team, also be able to dish out the damage as well.
Can we get the cogs? Just going to go from off. Man, they need this Hex from the Arc Warden. What's juicy?
Just the Arc Warden's name.
Debatable. I don't know. I've seen better in my time.
Yeah, sure thing,
Like
Ares.
Danog.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, Danog, with that dude. What?
I'm a god, baby.
How am I getting roasted right now? You got other people's names to roast, not mine. What is going on?
True.
I mean,
All right. Has he got the
don't
scythe?
even get
He's got the
started.
scythe device now. Getting one last use out of the Midas, perhaps. Or swapping it in. You're going to go on, though. Feels like Beastmaster's the target, to be honest. That's who I would be looking to start on. Well, there's that Revenant's approach as well. But I think Dolphin, the way that he's playing this is great as well. He is never stepping out too far if that Aeon Disc is not off cooldown. He wants to make sure that he's always able to survive, always able to provide that buffer against the rest of the team. And his main job is essentially, yes, create chaos, but bait out the Elder Dragon form, bait out the Exorcism. If he's able to do that and get away, job done. Wonder if TB buys out here. Still 1,000 gold away from the buyback, but swiftly, it's just been delivered. So he's got even more potential for damage in a lot of these engagements. And we know how important it is for you to, even with the MKB, reposition so that you're able to do damage to that Monkey King. Arc Warden.
Let's just do like
Two very similar heroes.
It's okay, it happened.
At least I caught myself that time.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. So I would make a mistake now. I'll feel like I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said anything. Alright, well, this could be a decent ward for Radiant to play with. I think really this ward by the triangle is mainly for a pick-off. Potentially the Snapfire playing around with that Hex reveal. Maybe it can even help you, because you need to pop this Aeon Disc before they go high ground. Like, that is the main thing. If you go high ground with Aeon Disc, then all of a sudden your potential to try and catch Dolphin out, that's a person you're trying to bring down. This coil is just heavily enabling this Terrorblade.
And all, like, Waning Rift, man, like 4.25 seconds, 9-second cooldown, Timeless Relic as well. You've got that debuff duration extending it out further. It's just nuts, the amount that you're going to be able to do for Dolphin here. And he's already doing a lot with nothing. Like, he had a losing lane drafted from him. Didn't do the greatest job at the very start, but that's to be understandable. But ever since then, he's just been playing out of his mind.
That he has indeed. As well, we're going to see the boys look to try and connect to Dolphin. They're actually TPing down. It's going to be NJ that's looking to play around with the Tempest double. As soon as they see some of the other members. In fact, they actually haven't revealed themselves under the cover of the smoke. They might run into Zone. Uh-oh, Zone. Did they get a glimpse of him? No, just shy of seeing the DK.
Going into this. Man hates BKB. That's all I can say. Like, I really want him to get this item, man. Feels like his impact is being severely hindered by not picking it up.
Oh, Scepter on the Death Prophet.
Yeah. And level 25.
This man seems pretty unkillable in these fights. I don't even know if the Terrorblade wants to right click. I mean, you kind of, if he's running at you, no one else is an option, but
at least a couple of right clicks for the Skadi.
Sure, yeah. This Exo now with the +8 spirits and your Scepter, his damage actually might be something you need to respect. Not able to find the Hex.
It's like, what the hell broke the puck? But it was actually the Hill Troll Berserker just hitting him. The small creep.
DD. With the DD.
Gotta be careful about letting this spark hit him as well. Anything that just gets him to pop that Aeon Disc is going to be a really big deal. Demon Zeal picks up as well by the TB.
TCY. Easy jump in with the Roar to hold him down. He's got the gem as well, so you really don't want to be giving away the gem like that.
I went for a hook shot
try and
in the middle.
Backpack the Aeon Disc as well, so this one's going to get popped. So Aeon Disc on cooldown, gem dropped, and like you said, Hook shot stolen as well from Helios.
Provides you that little bit of extra catch, right? Like, if you can burst the Death Prophet, she can go 100 to 0. And I feel like it's going to be on the back of a hook shot into a Blink Primal Roar, maybe even needing a second. But you do have the
That
damage
has so
to
much
pull the TV.
range. What?
Oh, yeah.
That range is crazy.
On hook shot.
Yeah, what?
Keep zooming out.
Wait, we got a fight going on. Hang on, Snapfire's in some trouble. NJ, he's in the middle. And we're seeing what the Death Prophet can try. Wait, they're looking to retreat, actually. LBZS, they don't feel strong enough to take the team fight. The core's going to try and cover the retreat, but the Arc Warden, he can jump over the top, controlling the Terrorblade for the moment. He'll be able to escape, but can the rest of the Dire members do so as well? And
Apparently.
it looks like that'll be the case.
And wouldn't you know it, look at what time it is. You got half duration left on the Elder Dragon form. You got Exorcism running about out in a couple of seconds. You use meta, but you've got the Demon Zeal available. And Roshan is going to respawn in 3, 2, 1 right now. And that is the one with the Aghanim Scepter as well. So you want to give that to the Terrorblade as well. Combine that together with the Dream Coil. You've got an extra layer of control and even more meta uptime.
Ooh. Another scepter that is huge now is Gua. We're saying he didn't have a Philosopher's Stone to maybe get towards that Disruptor Scepter, but
Nice.
he's got it now picked up. You'd love to see him get the level 18, but he's still a little bit away from that. Maybe he's actually got the tome coming up, I hope. But the top sure he gets the tome, right?
I think they might have forgotten the tome exists. I think they've got 2. Yeah, they've got 2
Top
tomes
lane? Is
available.
Puck in trouble? Aeon Disc is not available. It's still on cooldown. Okay. A little bit of a misplay with the abilities. NJ was able to slow him down so the Arc Warden could TP in fast enough, and that might open up Roshan. Now, Puck does have a buyback. It would be interesting to see if they can hold it as 4 if they need to force out the buyback. And LBZS, they're going to go on the
They got to remember that Puck
here.
doesn't have boots of travel, so they got to make sure that they're not going too deep, so that Puck's just not able to rejoin into the team fight. Maybe look to play around that that outpost area that NJ is looking to take, and yeah,
He's
the
alone.
hook shot.
It's not an easy man to bring down at all, but we're going to see the Static Storm with the Aghanim Scepter, so we can't use anything. None of the defensive items are available, but it's not going to matter. The Arc Warden E-Blade keeps NJ alive, and now he's looking to hunt, or is he? NJ tries to TP out, but the BKB won't be able to cover him, and now he needs the boys. And here they come, coming in fast, his zone. They won't be able to stop the Beastmaster TP, but at least they will catch up to the Disruptor.
No detection.
So in the end, one member will go down. Gonna be in the grave for 54 seconds, pretty close to the buildings as well, so they might go high
Finally.
ground.
They're finally next to these towers, and well, you can just see what a Death Prophet and an Elder Dragon form are able to do about it. Of course, the Aghanim Scepter on the DP provides a little bit of that extra damage coming through as well.
Do you prefer this over Roche?
I mean, they know that it's... do they know it's up? I guess they do, but I feel like you're happy to put more and more pressure out onto the map, right? It causes mistakes out of LBZS.
Are they gonna
That's the
jump
reason
the
why Puck was
Beastmaster?
caught out.
They know the BKB is on cooldown. Great use of the telekinesis there from Helios. We'll be able to keep TZY okay.
Yeah, the reason the Puck was caught out is because she needs to be the one doing a lot of this this push out, right? Disruptor doesn't do it, Rubik doesn't do it, Beastmaster doesn't do it. So any chance that you can get to make the waves start to push themselves in is going to be a big bonus, especially if it's that one wave that you have an advantage over, right? They've got super creeps top lane, LBZS don't. Might be the different for the other two, but you've got an Arc Warden to be able to play around for that purpose.
Yeah, and this hero is freaking dumb late game. Oh, he's so dumb. They didn't even kill his Tempest double inside the base. And I've seen Arc Wardens with the goddamn Wind Waker as well, and that is the most frustrating thing. I'm not even playing the game, and I get so frustrated watching this Tempest double just jump in, like Hex one, try and blow one up, all of a sudden they run at him and he just Wind Wakers away. And it would be a pretty goddamn good Wind Waker game as well, against Static Storm, against Coil, kiting the Roar. Like, I actually wonder if he changes it. Is there much value out of the E-Blade now? Because Puck does have Revenant's Brooch, but that's really the only person that can address it. I don't know.
Could
We'll see.
I mean, that's what killed the Terrorblade down bottom. Like, how long ago was that? Like 15 minutes ago. It was the E-Blade into E-Blade with all of the Spark Wraiths.
Yeah.
They just gonna let this go?
It was the E-Blade that kept NJ alive as well previously, but see if they can do it again. Radiant, plenty of ways to scout out the pit with the Rocket Flare. They're going to force LBZS to back away. Can they get anything out of the smoke, though? Aggressive blink from the Tempest double. Instantly up to the high ground.
Will he
do
live?
The boys want to follow up with it? Zone's trying to find an angle in, but it looks like they won't be able to get that perfect opening. That's a Tempest double, but he's actually back up already.
Nice illusion rune to be able to pick up with the... you pop the Elder Dragon form, which doesn't feel super amazing. It's not like he's got the Octarine core for himself. He's going full raid boss for zone. So there's going to be this bit of a window where he's not going to be able to join into this next Roche engagement. And I wonder if they're just going to have a timing set on that. You know, they would have seen him move into the lane. They would have seen the duration remaining on it. So maybe they're just going to stay around their high ground vision and then look to go into Roshan when they feel like it's wearing off. And that seems to be the case.
And Roshan's taken a little bit of damage as well, so it's not still back up to full.
Yeah, DK's only got about 10 seconds left to Dragon Form. So they got a 40-second window.
Dolphin's making him work for it as well. And Bruce down to about just under half. Early use of the coil, it's going to get snapped. The cooldown on the coil, only 40 seconds.
They would have seen... Oh, deep again. They would have seen the DK illusions turn back into human form as well, which even if the real one isn't revealing on the map, that's their indication that now's a good time to go.
Radiant are scanning.
They got to go pretty fast. His bottom lane is getting pushed out.
Yeah.
So Radiant might force an objective instead.
And again, Dragon Form's only 10 seconds away now because they waited that good 20 or so seconds. They're going to back off again.
Okay.
Playing a little bit
Do
scared.
you smoke and just run at them?
They smoked, but... Or are you talking Mystique?
Yeah, no, LBZS, do you just run at them now? I mean, we see how hesitant they are to actually try and finish off Roche. Do you have to get the kills instead? And it looks like that's
Roche
a call,
is the safer option.
Under attack.
So Radiant should know. They flare the pit and no one's gone back to base to defend. And
Super push.
it's some catapult waves down bottom, so the building's going to take a lot of damage.
Oh, they could catch DP right now if they really wanted to. She got caught
Look
by
at the vision
coil.
game. This is huge for Radiant. They've got so much vision to play with, and Dire don't know what to do with themselves. TZY is going to BKB and TP out.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Seems-
attack.
Late game, it can always be an awkward thing to master.
Feels like there's 50 different things happening across the map at once. You know, neither team seems to fully be on the same page, and I don't want to jinx it, but 3.5 minutes away, we're going to have those tier 5 items available, and maybe that's what could be needed to be able to blow this game wide open. Now even it's
Dolphin. Oh, this guy's a menace.
What do you do? Snapfire knows what to do. She's going for a sheep stick. She wants that Scythe of Ice. She needs the instant lockdown.
Look at him! Oh,
What a bully. Korea?
he's gonna get a Goryo.
Free money? I think that they're just saying, right, we're tired of these lanes being pushed in. You know, this is too much. We can't handle this on our own. Obviously, you've got the Arc Warden doing the job still, but Puck's job is to try and stem the bleeding a little bit. Question is, will he get caught out?
Dire's bottom tower.
Aeon this
Around
first.
the clock?
You happy with that?
Ooh.
Dolphin's gonna go back for Ray.
More than just
The
go back
kill
for him.
won't be able to steal the gem and get out. The Arc Warden's gonna try and force his own Aeon Disc, but Dolphin's okay. And now mid lane Zone is alone. Dolphin's just toying with them. Look at what he's doing for them across the map. Leaving the DK vulnerable, but that's where the Arc Warden's able to come into play. Will keep Zone alive for the moment. Now with the reinforcements showing up, NJ will run straight to the middle with the X, so it's plenty of damage against the BKB. This will not protect TZY this time. They might go high ground. They might have had enough of, maybe they've had enough of Dolphin. There's the first stun. There's just no more.
Dolphin's just so huge at this point. Like the Witch Blade itself,
Fonte
the Revenant's Approach.
jump in. They're going to try and target down NJ. Look at the damage out of the Terror Blade early on. NJ, he won't be survivable. They get a gigantic kill onto the Death Prophet, and they're looking for more as well as TZY jumps in with the Roar. Is going to hold the Dragonite into place as Fonte can get the damage going. Finally, LBZS. It feels like it's a code they haven't been able to crack in such a long time, but now they might have done it.
Just dragged around the map so damn much. They're doing everything that they can to pop Aeon discs. What I've been really hoping for is that someone holds on to the Witchblade on Mystique's side. You've got a Clockwork that's using a Blast Rig. Not sure it has the greatest level of impact, just because most of the damage that you're taking is from a Puck and from a Terrorblade. The 8 armor is basically all that's providing, whereas if you get the Witchblade, suddenly you don't care about Ghost Scepters, you don't care about Force Staff, Glimmer Cape, Aeon Disc, like so much this would be able to eventually provide in the initiation aspect.
All right, fourth broche of the game is going to go to LBZS. We've got Cheese on Guo's Disruptor. Aghanim Scepter Blessing went over to Fonte. Ages is on to TZY, and
Tempest
I do
Double
not
nearly
know the
burst
cheese.
down that TB on his own, by the way.
Really?
Yep. Took him down to about 30% HP in 3 seconds.
Tower is under attack.
Can they hold this
They win
3v5?
I think DK will have to buy back. They're throwing the Tempest Double out there.
Yeah. You kind of want this one standing. And look at Dolphin. He might just be able to get a solo kill into the Snapfire. What are they going to do to keep him alive? You need every single member to try and protect the base. And
Oh, hook shot
one
to the
of
back
their
of the
own
DP.
members blocked the hook shot. And now they might turn to the Dragonite. He just bought back.
He just bought back?
just bought back. And he's going to send to the grave instantly.
Where are the boys?
Fonte got the Terror Wave out. So now he's playing with the bonus meta damage. The Monoba Kiss is not enough to get the kill, but they'll turn to TZY instead. And BKB is going to buy him a little bit of time to retreat away. As they can turn to the Death Prophet, Fonte, Metamorph is activated, and now the physical damage. NJ, he doesn't have the armor to stay strong. Fonte will charge up the high gun, and finally, over 60 minutes, but it doesn't look like we're going to get tier 5 items. LBZS, 3v5, no buybacks available out of the members on Radiant. They'll keep
I think
alive
just
the
don't
real
have
Arc
damage.
Warden, but it's going to be
If
Mega
Arc Warden could
Creeps.
defend this, Hero needs to be removed from the game. Because you got 2 supports with no ultimates. You got no 2 other cores to be able to play with. You got Mega Creeps, you got a TB that's as farmed as this, push it into the game.
DQQ. He's like, all right, just take my life. I didn't have a buyback, but I'll sacrifice myself for the cause. But unfortunately, his sacrifice is not enough. Dolphin, along with LBZS, will be able to take Game 3 and find their second series victory. 4-1. What a game performance from them as well. In 61 minutes, they looked really, really good.